Episode 4 of The Dark Side of the Ring Season 2 is focused on the infamous Brawl for All tournament from the summer of 1998. Multiple people during the episode referred to the tournament as the worst idea ever in wrestling. Vince Russo was on the creative team at the time and was the one who pushed for the idea to take place. Now, during the episode, he revealed his motivation for bringing the tournament to fruition. Here's what Russo said on the show. The idea for the Brawl for All was really simple, okay? I was not a big fan of JBL, John Layfield. I was from New York, John was from Texas. I thought he had a big mouth. I thought he was full of himself. I thought he was a bully. We were backstage at a show one day and John Layfield made the comment that if this were real, I would beat everybody's ass in the locker room. So now I'm sitting there and I'm saying, you braggadocious bully bastard. I know of at least 10 guys in this locker room who would kick your ass. I went to Vince McMahon and I proposed the idea of a Brawl for All. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, Vince, we're becoming more and more and more real. Let them fight for real, man. Put on gloves and let them go out there. Let them fight. Let's legitimately see who the toughest guy is. Vince gave the idea his blessing, and we went on with the Brawl for All. Well, Bradshaw, who was evidently the motivation for this whole tournament, made it all the way to the finals before he was brutally knocked out by tournament winner Bart Gunn. After winning the Brawl for All tournament, Bart Gunn would then go on to WrestleMania where he was brutally knocked out by super heavyweight boxer Butterbean. Jim Ross and Jim Cornette were both interviewed during the documentary as well, and JR had the following to say about the idea. The injuries were a big deal. Here's what it meant. It meant taking guys off the line. They were sitting at home, they couldn't work, they couldn't earn, and that cost the company money because they weren't able to be productive. It wasn't a good thing. And this is what Jim Cornette had to say about Vince Russo's motivation for the tournament. How morally and intellectually bankrupt and irresponsible do you have to be to create a situation where your stars get legitimately injured just to get even with a wrestler who was bragging about how tough he was in the locker room? John Piermarini worked on the WWE creative team from 2009 to 2018, and I probably just brutally butchered the pronunciation of his last name. But according to a tweet he sent out, Vince McMahon wanted to do a second version of the Brawl for All, but featuring contestants from the original NXT. This would have been around 2009 or 2010. And apparently Vince McMahon had to be talked out of doing a second Brawl for All, this time with wrestlers on the original version of NXT. So the documentary is a must-watch for people who are following pro wrestling back in 1998, as well as for newer and younger fans interested in the more ridiculous history of the industry. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more news or reports from Spoiler Free Wrestling.